Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with If I Could Choose Only One Work by Composer X, it would have to be Work L. Well, Composer X is Samuel Barber, and Work L is Knoxville, summer of 1915, which many of you chose. And I think this is a perfect time to stop and make the point once again that the idea here is not to choose your favorite work or the most popular work, but rather the one that most typically represents the composer, because the idea here, remember, is that we are presenting this to the evil god Cancrezans, the god of classical music, who has decreed that he is going to destroy all of classical music but for one characteristic work per composer. Although we get to do albums too. And I could do a Barber album. I mean, I could do something that's got all the essays for orchestra and the symphony and the School for Scandal overture and Medea's Dance of Vengeance, like all squished into one compact disc. We could do that, but I'm not, because there is this one beautifully typical work, which I personally can't stand. But a lot of you love it. I mean, a lot of you suggested it, and you're right. Again, this isn't about me. This is about what's correct for the exercise that we're engaged in. And Knoxville is the perfect encapsulation of Barber's art. Thank you. Let me get that one. Samuel Barber. Yeah, that's his name. And in so many ways. First of all, that bittersweet lyricism that he that neo-romantic aesthetic, which was really something that was his natural mode of utterance. I think for Barber, it really had to be vocal music. In spite of the popularity of some of his orchestral pieces, he was himself a baritone of considerable ability. Remember, he made his own recording of Dover Beach. He wrote wonderful songs. Vanessa is terrific, and there's all kinds of lovely vocal music. The songs are gorgeous. Unfortunately, Antony and Cleopatra was a disaster, which plunged him into a depression from which he never fully recovered. His inspiration dried up, and he died, and broke up with Menotti, and it destroyed really his life. It's a terrible, terrible story, what happened to him in the wake of that horrible premiere. But it's a good work, by the way, too. I mean, the production was a catastrophe, but he was a wonderful composer for the voice. That was his natural mode of expression, so I think it should be a vocal work. And Knoxville, for all the fact that it annoys the crap out of me, really does offer that the elegance, his beautiful text setting, his sensitivity to the words, the beautiful choice of, one of the reasons I don't like it is because it's so good at what it does. Knoxville is a prose scene by James Agee about Knoxville in the summer of 1915, a child's reminiscence of what happens. And it has that sort of childlike sing-song quality that I find so irritating. It has become the time of evening when now we're out on the porch. Then the trolley goes by and Mommy picks me up and puts me to bed. And I know. That's me, because it is exquisitely well done. It's absolutely perfect for the setting of the text, and it doesn't sound like anybody else. It's for voice and chamber orchestra. The instrumental writing is absolutely elegant and beautifully supportive of the vocal line. It has been a vehicle for a huge number of excellent singers who do it extremely well. I'm particularly fond of Don Upshaw's recording on Nonsuch, which I thought was just amazing. I really did. It actually made me like the piece. I can appreciate a great performance of it as much as anybody. Barber's own sensitivity to the text that he sets is such that, you can only marvel at how beautifully the words and the music go together. Really, you have to. I understand its greatness, but more to the point, I understand just how characteristic of the composer it is. And I feel pretty good submitting this to the god Cancrezans for his consideration and saying to him, okay, maybe you find this as annoying as I do, but the guy wrote other stuff, lots of other stuff that's very, very, very different, but still completely characteristic of his personal style. I mean, there's the Violin Concerto, the Piano Concerto, the Cello Concerto, there's Vanessa, there's the First Symphony, there's the Second Symphony that he disowned. There's wonderful music out there that we should all have a chance to experience. And if you find Knoxville as annoying as I do, then we have every argument to make that we should be allowed to listen to the stuff that we don't think is annoying. So I think that's got to be the pick for Samuel Barber. And I know some of you will agree with me, although many of you will agree with me for completely different reasons. But I have to be honest about it, and so there you are. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.